Alright, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? We got another A3 video today. This is kind of a follow-up to the last one of the intake install because we started hearing some weird whining noises coming after we did the install. And so after a little bit of research and buying a couple parts, today we're actually going to be installing a new updated diverter valve, because one of the most common things to go wrong on the 2-liter TFSI, especially the second gens, is that the diverter valve fails. And so what actually happens is there's a little rubber boot on the inside that the pressure actually goes past, and it creates like a pretty high-pitched whistling noise that can sometimes sound like bearings, or that you have a leak on your intake possibly. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull that stock one off, put the updated one on, and it's not actually an OEM replacement, and I know some people are OEM religious when it comes to parts like this, but this is made by a company called Pierberg. I've read lots of reviews, especially on ECS, where it literally only has 5-star reviews, and the reason for that is it was literally half the price of OEM. But we're gonna also be getting a Go Fast bits just to have that extra protection and a little bit of proofing into the future for tuning and that kind of thing. So without further ado, we're gonna show you how to do this install without lifting the car up on a hoist, because you can get at it from the top if you really work for it, but there's actually an easier way just by taking the wheel off. So let's jump right into it. All right, so pretty straightforward. Get your wheel and stuff off the car. Get a jack stand under somewhere where you trust it, either under the lower control arm or even actually on the subframe right under the engine. You can set it up, and then we're gonna be working right in here, and I'm gonna quickly set up a light, and then I'll show you how to get to that diverter valve. All right, so I actually had to take the mic off, so sorry if the audio quality isn't as great as it usually is. Right there is our diverter valve. I've actually already taken the plug off of it. So the easiest way to access the top two bolts on the right side of the diverter valve can be accessed through this point right here, and then the third one you're gonna have to come around to your tie rod ends, or your tie rod side where your steering rack and everything is, and you're gonna have to get it from right here. So I will prop the camera somewhere and we'll rip those guys out just from the connector. It's actually really oily, and I'll show you the female end on the diverter valve once we pull it out and how oily it is, which is a good sign that it's beginning to fail. So, all right, so this is the factory diverter valve. It's quite oily around basically the whole thing around the O-ring on the outside. And this is the big one that causes a lot of them to fail and throw codes. It's actually really oily on the inside of the plug too. Like there's actually a little bit of a pooling going on in the back of the plug down in there. And then just the whole thing is just covered in oil. But what actually happens, and I'll quickly pull this apart in a second here, but let's just quickly look at a comparison compared to the brand new one. So much cleaner. There's no oil anywhere, nothing's leaking. It has the little cage around the outside of the actual diverter valve, and I'll pull the internals out just so you can see, well, so hopefully we can see what our issue was. So actually, in spite of what I thought, there actually isn't much to look at in here. This little blue ring here, it also is usually one of the main reasons that these guys fail and start to squeal and that kind of thing, and there's also some other bits. But for now, let's throw the new updated one in, and then we'll take this thing for a drive and see if that fixed our issue, which I'm 95% sure it will. All right, And another thing to remember to do, hopefully you can see what I'm holding here, but this connector, if you're in my situation and it's covered in oil, if you have a sensor cleaner, clean it off on the inside of the prongs as well, and also clean the outsides. The oil can screw with your connectors, and it will if it gets the chance, so don't let that happen. And then let's throw the connector on there, make sure it clicks in, and let's throw the wheel back on and let's take it for a drive. Just started her up. We're gonna let it just idle for a few seconds just to kind of figure itself out, make sure we don't throw any codes or anything. I mean, it should be perfectly fine. It is a direct replacement, so it's not like it's gonna be throwing some extra boost or anything at the car or any issues like that, but it should be able to detect if it's got a leak or anything right away. Make sure you torque your wheels, kids. Don't start driving until you torque your wheels. Turbo's working. She's working good. Turbo's pulling good now. I can still hear it though. I can still hear the noise. That's so weird. Still making the noise, but it's not as loud. Alright, so now let's quickly run through a little bit of an update of what I've got going on with the A3 so far that I haven't really talked about. So first things first, I actually went and I got the rear 5 windows tinted, so counting 5 as in the rear, the quarter, and the passenger rears, and then also on the other side. It's 5% all the way around. It's not too bad from the inside, but it is limo spec, so you can't see in at all. It really kind of ties the whole look I'm going for with just having black and white, like super simple, classy look. And yeah, it just really kind of ties the whole black roof into the windows and also creating that kind of like piano style black and white look. Another thing, I've also gone ahead and I've wrapped my door caps as well. And I did this myself. I didn't have any help doing this. I was gonna make a video, but it was just such a little thing to do that I didn't really think it was necessary. So as the S line does come stock with the chrome tops, I just kind of thought it was really tacky as there's no other chrome on the car other than the front grille piece, which is going to be going to a mesh grille like the RS series models. And so it just didn't make sense to me to have like one tiny little chrome piece, because I know some Audis come with the chrome trim and everything, but everything's black, so I just wanted to make those black. Another thing I'm going to be doing is I'm probably going to debadge the TFSI and the A3 off of here, but I'm gonna wrap my emblems gloss black. And then I'm also thinking of very soon going full LED taillights, and I don't mean replacing them with tacky aftermarket garbage ones, I mean replacing just the bulbs and everything to give it a more updated look. And so the next biggest thing as far as power modifications go is I've actually gone ahead and I bought a downpipe. Now, I didn't buy it brand new because this downpipe is actually pretty expensive new as it is, as the cheapest that I can find it is about $900 US in the configuration that it is, because it does have a cat, but I might remove the cat because I want to get like the D-cell crackles and that kind of thing with my tuner. This is the downpipe that I bought. I'll pull it out really quick. We have an, the logo's backwards, but it's an HPA 3-inch stainless downpipe that I gotta clean up because it was sitting for a little while, but it's only got a couple thousand kilometers on it off of another Quattro A3. It does have a 100 cell high flow cat, So it is still catted. It's not as restrictive as the factory cat. This is a performance downpipe, and I'm super excited for this. It's gonna sound awesome. I would go ahead and throw it on, but like I've been reading that you can just throw another catted downpipe onto the car and not really run into any issues. But right now I am mufflerless, and this section does get rid of the resonator that I have, so I would essentially only having a cat and a high flow cat, so it would be extremely loud. I'm more concerned about putting it all together once I'm ready to finish up the exhaust that we're gonna build for this thing. But other than that, that is all I have for you guys today with the A3. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. We're gonna be doing lots more stuff to this thing. I wanna get a catch can, and obviously we're gonna get R8 coil packs and all the, you know, the average stuff that the 2-liter guys and the 1.8T guys do. But we will be taking this thing out to mission hopefully before it snows, and then if not, into spring next year. And obviously we're gonna have lots of fun with this thing in the snow, and I've got some small little events I wanna organize with some other Audi owners and other people with all-wheel drive that we're gonna have some fun in the snow doing. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, share it with your friends, and peace out. I will see you in the next video.